The symbolism of the name Jesus, a meditation on the letters. Whenever we look at the name Jesus, we find that it is pronounced differently throughout the world. Some say Jesus, others Yeshua, Isa, Jesus, Isis, and many other forms depending on language and tradition. My interest is not primarily in the historical pronunciation, but in the symbolism that appears through the letters themselves. This is not a name to be approached merely as the label of a historical person. To me, it is symbolic. It is something that reveals itself through contemplation. I can share the directions my own meditation has taken, but I believe this work must ultimately be done personally. Each person must sit with these symbols and allow them to unfold from within. Symbolism is layered. It may be contemplated through philosophy, metaphysics, geometry, mathematics, biology, science, music, language, and many other perspectives. None of these viewpoints excludes the others. They become different lenses through which the same mystery is examined. In the English language, names begin with a capital letter. Occasionally, an entire word is capitalized, but I cannot think of examples where a single capital letter appears only in the middle or at the end of a word. The beginning receives the emphasis. The capital letter stands as the point of introduction. One meditation begins with the sound of the English pronunciation of Jesus, where the opening sound corresponds to the letter G, although it is written with the letters J and E. If we divide the written word, we have J-E-S, U-S. The symbolism begins immediately. The capital G resembles the capital C, except that it contains a horizontal line extending inward. Imagine placing that capital G before a mirror. Then take its reflected image and superimpose it perfectly over the original. The opening disappears. The figure becomes a complete circle. The inward line can no longer be distinguished from its reflection. The image becomes a capital O. This circle symbolizes, in one respect, the stomach below the heart. The horizontal line through its center symbolizes the ego, the center within the center. It also represents the plane upon which our world appears. It becomes the equator, the line through which land and water find their balance. It represents the body itself, the head above, the heart in the middle, and the stomach below. Now imagine the head bowing downward. It turns upside down. It turns backward. It becomes inside out. Consciousness descends into the stomach, into the belly, into the dream, into the belly of the beast, into the sanctuary, into the heart and eye of God. Light appears to be swallowed. Fallen stars appear as the one becoming the many. Even the word becoming is only symbolic. Nothing truly becomes anything. Reality is already complete. Yet, even the word complete is imperfect because language suggests a transition from incompleteness into completion. This reveals one of the limitations of language itself. Every word introduces distinctions that ultimately dissolve beyond language. Because of this, every word deserves careful attention. This method of contemplation is not limited to the letter G. It appears that many, perhaps every letter of the alphabet, may reveal hidden relationships when mirrored and superimposed upon itself. I have not mastered this. I am still in meditation. I have begun noticing the significance of the first 7 letters of the alphabet. The 7th letter is G. 7 appears continually throughout reality, the musical octave, the spectrum of color, and countless symbolic traditions. It represents completion that immediately opens into another beginning. This brings to mind the ancient axiom, as above, so below. I do not reverse it. I do not say, as below, so above. Above is the same as below, but below is not the same as above. It is an asymmetry, a dual paradoxical simultaneity. Now consider the capital J. One immediately encounters a question. Should the horizontal stroke at the top be included, or should the J be contemplated simply as a vertical line descending into its hook? I cannot answer that for another person. This must become a personal meditation. It depends upon what one has learned, contemplated, experienced, and awakened to. The symbolism must arise inwardly rather than being imposed from without. For my present meditation, I choose to omit the horizontal stroke. Imagine placing your pencil upon the crown chakra. Draw a straight line downward through the body's central axis until you reach the root. Then curve gently to the left. The figure becomes the capital J. Now place that J before a mirror. Take the reflected image and perfectly superimpose it over the original. A new symbol appears, the capital U. The U may itself be understood as two capital I's joined together at their base. One eye is the observer. The other eye is the reflected observer. One point of contemplation produces two perspectives. Symbolism often requires counting what cannot be seen as much as what can. The visible U appears on one side. Its unseen completion remains beyond immediate perception. That hidden completion suggests AW. The invisible side completes what the visible side alone cannot reveal. Here the symbolism points toward ineffable, the infinite. Invisible, the invisible. The unseen completes the seen. The visible depends upon the invisible. The invisible remains present even while hidden. Within the body there appears one eye. Outside the body another eye. Beyond perception another invisible eye. These become symbolic of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. The wording itself matters. I say, ineffable. Not the ineffable. I say, the infinite. Not merely infinite. I say, invisible, the invisible. The absence and the contemplated image together. The article becomes meaningful because it distinguishes different symbolic relationships. Thus, ineffable represents non-consideration. The infinite represents the consideration of non-consideration. Invisible, the invisible represents consideration itself appearing as image. When reality is contemplated upside down, backward, and inside out, consideration gives rise to image. The infinite appears as image. Image in action becomes imagination. The universe is therefore mental. The all is mind. Even the word universe becomes symbolic. Uni begins with the letter U, the very symbol already contemplated. The universe becomes the universe. The one speaking. The one singing. The one expressing itself through the verse of reality. This also reveals another symbolic relationship. The word Joker begins with the same capital J. Immediately afterward comes the lowercase o, another circular symbol that again corresponds, among other things, to the stomach and the inner world. The symbolism continues to unfold from there. As for the letter K, I am not ready to speak about it. That meditation requires more contemplation, more research, more remembrance, and more silence before words are appropriate. I do not wish to force conclusions where understanding has not yet matured. These reflections are not offered as doctrine. We have already contemplated the capital letter J, but the remaining letters also carry their own symbolic structure. The capital letter E represents the crown, the heart, and the root. Its three horizontal lines correspond to these 3 points, while the spaces between them represent what is above the heart, what is below the heart, and the harmonics existing within the gaps. The letter may also be mirrored and superimposed upon itself in the same manner already described. Through this contemplation, the capital E represents Elohim. I am not going to explain every dimension of this symbolism in detail here. I am placing the structure before you so that you may contemplate it personally. The capital letter S resembles the dividing line seen through the center of the yin-yang symbol. It shows the full body while also containing the relationship between the head and the heart, the above and the below. At the upper end, it represents God the Father above. At the lower end, it represents the God of this world below, Satan, the adversary, corresponding to the root chakra. If we move one center downward from the crown, we arrive at the symbolic position of God the Son. If we reflect that same position below the heart, we arrive at the stomach chakra. Here appears the symbolic correspondence of libido, the energy of sexuality and generation. It belongs to the head above and also to the head below, for the intestines themselves become, in this symbolism, another expression of the head reflected upside down, backward, and inside out. The root chakra represents Satan. The harmonic between the stomach and the root chakra represents the devil, Diablo. The stomach chakra represents Beelzebub. The harmonic between the stomach and the solar plexus represents Azazel. The solar plexus chakra represents Lucifer. The space between the solar plexus and the heart, the harmonic between them, represents Hellel, Hellel. The heart chakra is not spoken of. That is how it is spoken of. Its absence from speech is itself part of how it is present, just as the missing capstone of the pyramid becomes the very means by which the capstone is represented. What is not visibly placed may remain symbolically central. What is not spoken may become the point around which everything spoken is arranged. The relationship between the stomach and the solar plexus is not fixed. Their symbolic polarities continually reverse, like the sequence of night and day. Within the body, this polarity appears to change rapidly and repeatedly. Within the earth, the same principle appears on a much larger scale. The alternation of night and day, the tides, the movement of pressure, the rhythm of breathing, and even the great cycles represented by the north and south. Although time itself is ultimately symbolic, this polarity appears to unfold as a long rhythmic sequence. The same principle appears within humanity. There are periods when good comes to be regarded as evil, while evil gradually becomes accepted as the new definition of good. A polarity reversal occurs. Within that reversal, the spirit within humanity turns toward poison. The waters of the earth become like wormwood. What occurs within humanity eventually appears outwardly. Nothing manifests outwardly unless it first exists within knowing itself. The reality we experience is not separate from that knowing. It remembers, and through that remembrance, projection appears. This may sound unusual, but consider the nature of a dream. One might assume that because attention is no longer directed toward a particular tree within the dream, the tree still exists independently. Yet without the deeper mind sustaining the dream, no image remains. The same contemplation applies here. The mind responsible for manifestation is not merely the thinking mind with which we reason from moment to moment. It is deeper than thought. It is spiritual. There is an essence beyond ordinary contemplation that is the true source of thought itself, from which all images, symbols, and appearances arise. I am not going to enter into a full explanation of these correspondences at this time. I will leave them here so that you may contemplate them personally and consider how they relate to the body, the chakras, the letters, and the layered structure of the name. Amen. Let it be so.